Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Tea with Amie. So today it is just me, Imani. I am here again, and I want to talk to you guys about how to prepare for your bridal appointment. There's some different things that go into preparing for your bridal appointment, so I'm just going to jump into what you should do, research, all of that kind of jazz that we don't talk about a lot, but for some reason, a lot of people ask us about it. Well, I shouldn't say for some reason, but a lot of people do ask us about it. So I just kind of want to get into it with you guys briefly and talk to you about all of it. So the first thing I'm going to say is kind of something that would have to do more so with research. So you want to research the store, not even just in terms of us, but any store you're thinking about going to, I would do your research. Check their social medias, check their website. If you have specific questions, maybe even call. And I would say what you want to look for when you're doing your research about these stores is, number one, you want to check their COVID precautions or their COVID protocols, because that's super important. That's super relevant right now. I would check and see if there's any specific things, if their salons are still working with stylists, meaning they're having somebody to help dress you, if they're limiting the amount of people that can be at your appointment, if they're not serving champagne and you're looking for them to serve champagne, if you need to wear a mask, which I believe all salons are still requiring masks. So just check all of these things before you come in so you're prepared. Some smaller salons were limiting guests anyway. So if you're looking at a smaller salon, definitely see how many guests you can bring prior to just bringing everybody over. It saves you time, it saves the salon time, and it kind of avoids making things awkward or uncomfortable, especially if that's your first appointment. You want to go into it as prepared as you can so that you can just have a really seamless experience. So something else I would check for would be maybe designers, styles they carry. And the reason why I would say this, I'm all about preaching to go in with an open mind, and I do believe that. I strongly believe go in with an open mind. But sometimes if you know what styles and designers that the store carries or what they kind of specialize in, because not every store has a huge variety of gowns. And if your heart is set on going to the store, then you want to see what they carry so that when you go in, you kind of have an idea of maybe some things you would want to try. Because ultimately, whatever you try on helps you kind of come to your decision. You know, you have things to compare your perfect dress to in the end. So I would say it just kind of helps you know what you're getting into with the store, and also to know if the store is right for you. So I would check for that. I also would check to see maybe about sizing. And I say this as a plus size girl. I think it is important for me personally when I go somewhere to be able to try things. So if I was shopping for a dress, I would want to know that they were carrying samples in my size before going in there. That's important to me. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be important to you, but if it's something you're concerned about, if you call, if you check online, if you check socials, a lot of times bridal salons will have no problem telling you what sizes their store generally carries, and that'll help you in the end. So I would check for that as well. Other than that, I would just check their hours, make sure that they have appointment slots that you're looking for. And once you do that, you can kind of decide where you're going. My best advice for you, if you're one of those people that wants to go to multiple stores, would be to pick 3. I wouldn't do more than that, because a lot of times, more often than you would think, brides find their gown, the first dress they try. They just feel like they need some reassurance before they can say yes to it. I get it. I completely understand. But the last thing you want to do is cloud your mind and cloud your judgment when it comes to your gown by trying on a bunch of gowns. I mean, we all know how it is when we're shopping for cars or any big purchase. After a while, it just becomes something that is tiring. It becomes, the fun is kind of gone. You know, we all started at some point when we were looking for a car with a vision and kind of excited to see new things and test drive new cars. And then you get to like the 10th car and you're like, I'm over this. I do not want to do this any longer. Somebody pick a car for me. I'm done. I don't know. It might just be me, but I also know it's not just me. So wedding dress shopping can be very similar if you try on a lot of gowns. It is a super fun process and it is a super special process. So try your best to preserve that by not clouding your judgment. So choose 3 stores max would be my best advice. And I also would choose 3 stores that maybe are a little different from each other, because if you are looking at different options in terms of stores, it doesn't really make sense to go to 3 stores that all carry the same gown. you're going to try the same stuff if that's kind of where you're going towards. Try and go to 3 stores that carry different things so that you have a variety and you feel like you're satisfied with what you've tried. I also think that that can be the problem with going to too many stores sometimes, and why it starts to be a little cloudy and you start to question your judgment is because you go to 3 stores that are very similar to each other, so you try on the same things and ultimately it just makes your decision process harder. So choose 3 stores. Summary of all that, choose 3 stores if you feel like you need to go to many stores. Alternatively, I feel like you could just set an appointment at one store you really, really, really want to go to and see how the appointment goes. And if the appointment goes great, then you don't have to worry about canceling appointments or going to any other stores. If the appointment isn't successful for you, then you can there make some more appointments and go off of that. I think that that's the best way to do it personally, because a lot of times you'll happen on a store like ours. It is so big and you have so many things, so many gowns to try that your choice might just be in the first store. There's no harm in that. But that way you don't have to go through the calling and canceling, which I know can be kind of dreadful for some people. And now stores a lot of times are taking deposits for appointments, meaning they have cancellation fees if you don't make the appointment. Our store personally doesn't do that, but other stores do. So that's definitely something to be cognizant of when you're making your appointments, is you don't want to have to feel the pressure of getting your money back on an appointment or not losing money on an appointment when you found your gown and be like, ugh, I have to give up this moment because I have to go to this other store that has my credit card and will charge me if I don't go. You want your moment to be as special as you can make it, or as it can be when that time comes for you. So yeah, that's my take on stores. Once you've decided on your store that you will be going to, what I would suggest you bring with you is honestly yourself, of course. And if you are the kind of person that is not super comfortable changing around other people and want some garments to make it a little less awkward for you, then I would recommend you bring like a good pair of Spanx, a strapless bra, and you should be good. Many stores offer their own robes or things like that, but if you don't want to use their robes, then you can bring like a little robe of your own to wear in between changing. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't really care about changing in front of other people, then I would recommend maybe some pasties or a sticky bra and your underwear, of course. So that would really be the only thing I would say though, because ultimately the goal in your gown is not to have to wear a bra if you can, and to really wear minimal undergarments. So max, I would say Spanx and a strapless bra, minimal pasties, sticky bra, and some underwear. You can also bring shoes if you have them. I definitely think it is helpful if you bring shoes, because you'll be able to see if your gown will need however much of a hem your gown will need, or if you're like me, a tall girl, then you'll be able to see if you need extra length or anything like that when it comes down to it. It also, if you've already chosen your shoes, I feel like it also helps to see anything that you will be wearing with the dress. So if you're going to be wearing a veil, like any kind of jewelry, if you have jewelry or accessories in general that were passed down to you that you'll be wearing, then it's nice to bring those in so you can see the whole look put together. Now, on a different note, a really awesome thing I saw a bride do once that I've recommended to my brides ever since is my bride had her hair and makeup trial right before her appointment. I thought that was such a good idea because she went into her hair and makeup trial, she had her hair and makeup done, she came to her appointment. So anytime we were putting accessories on her or any gown we put on her, she could see the full vision. Obviously, she wasn't at her venue, but really that was the only thing missing when you think about it. She had everything else done for her. So I feel like it really helped her overall vision. I would recommend, if you can, to do a hair and makeup trial before your appointment if that would help you see kind of what you're going to look like on your big day. And the good thing about us personally is our appointments are not super early in the morning, especially on the weekends, which typically is when people do their trials. So you can do your trial and then come here for your appointment and try on all of your gowns try on all of the gowns with your hair and makeup already done. So I really thought that that was a great little tip that a bride taught me. which is interesting for a change. I'm learning things. I always learn things from brides, but that was a really cool thing that was brought with me. So a lot of brides like to bring in pictures on their phone, or I have brides that print them out or take them for magazines or whatnot. You can bring in pictures. However, if you are bringing in pictures, I, of course, strongly recommend you keep an open mind with all of these things. Whenever you bring pictures in, your stylist is going to look at the pictures and kind of pull gowns that are similar or what you're showing them at first. What I really love about our store is on our website, we have a list of all of our inventory. And when I say a list, I mean more so like a page with all of our inventory and pictures and names and stuff like that. So prior to your appointment with us, you can actually go on our website and choose gowns off of our website that you maybe would like to try and bring in with you, and we actually have those gowns because they're part of our inventory. So it's definitely super helpful if you know that there's gowns you want to try. But like you've probably heard many of our guests say, if you've been listening to our podcast for a while, do not pigeonhole yourself with that. You could put on one of those gowns and you could decide you want something completely different. I have seen it all happen before. So while I think it is amazing to look at pictures and inspiration photos, I also think it is great to know that inspiration photos are exactly that, inspiration. And what your gown will be what you are drawn to the most. And it might not match exactly your inspiration photos, but oftentimes it's a great way to start. And like I said, I especially love that we have our inventory online so you all can see what we have prior to coming in, and your inspo can be based on what you can actually come into store and try. So other than that, I would say just bring a positive attitude and an open mind to your appointment. Bridal appointments are super fun and they're a really great and amazing experience. And I think that you don't need a ton of preparation for them, which is why this is kind of a short episode today. You just need to have the information that is going to make you feel at ease coming in. And other than that, anything else I can think of would basically just be like, if you know that you want champagne for you and your party, make sure that they either allow, whatever salon you're going to allows you to bring your own bottle, or that they serve it so that you can have that. And honestly, I always love when brides and their parties kind of make it fun. You can make cute signs that say yes or no, or voting signs, or whatever, for your party to really be a part of your experience. Or, you know, you can come wearing, I always love when brides wear like cute little veils or something like that when they come in. Really make the experience your own, and you'll have a great time doing it. Regardless of how it's done, it's going to be you, and that's what's important. So I hope I was able to help you guys today. I hope I was able to answer any questions you guys have. I know you guys ask us questions a lot, so I tried to go through and see what those questions were and give you the best answers I could for them. Of course, this is all my own opinions and things I've learned based on my experience here. So overall, hopefully it will help you guys. And of course, if you like this podcast and you want to listen, make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can find us at Mon Amie Bridal Salon on basically everything, but I will list it as always: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Yelp, LinkedIn, Snapchat, YouTube. I don't think I missed anything today, but if I did, you guys know it is at Mon Amie Bridal Salon on everything. And we are also on the wedding websites, and we have our own website. So yeah, as always, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next week with a new one. Bye.